Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zed. Today we're talking about Progeny. I've received a few requests on this one, so without further ado, let's jump right into this one. Now, I did talk about Progeny before, but this one we're going to dive a little bit towards due diligence further, a bit of technical analysis as well, and what we can anticipate in the next few days. So Progeny, if you've never heard about them, they're a biotechnology company innovating in fields of gastrointestinal health and oral biotherapeutics. Now, there wasn't much of a press release today, but there is some exciting news when it comes towards their pipeline progression in general. Now, in terms of October 13th news that we received, and I'll just mention a few of them just to give you an idea. If you never heard about this company, this video should suffice. So first one is Progeny announced several patents granted by USPTO, strengthening the company intellectual property position in ingestible therapeutics technology. In the last video, we really went in and talked about each of these basically patents from the USPTO. The next one was them closing around $20 million in registered direct offering of common stock priced at a premium of the market under the NASDAQ rules. And then we did talk about them participating in the 11th annual partnership opportunity in drug delivery conference, and as well later on with them doing different offerings back in August 24th, 2021. So it's very clear that they love to raise their money through basically the public market rather than through going through loans and banks, which is not always the worst thing. So some of their near-term potential catalysts that are coming up soon as we go through. So the first one you have is for oral biotherapeutics, you got your OBDS preclinical PK data generation, and you also have your OBDS ongoing preclinical studies, and then you also have later on, after Q4 2021, the pre-IND meeting with FDA for PGN-OB2. Now for GI Health, you have your RSS, which is the clinical proof of concept study, as well as the GI Pharma top-line clinical PK and PD for adalimumab in ulcerative colitis. And later on also you have in women's health, so they're working on validation data for Precludia, and also publication and partnership ongoing efforts is expected to have or happen on Q4 2021 with single molecule NIPT optimization. Now, in terms of some of the things that we're looking from institutional buyers and insiders, there wasn't much change from that. Institutional buyers, we haven't seen any activity since the 28th of September, where iShares Morningstar Small Cap ETF added around 3,000 shares, and Parametric Portfolio Associates have around 17,347 shares. Now, this company here has two backings, CVI Investments and Ethereum Capital Management. First one owning around 9.9%, the second around 47% of the entire company. Now, in terms of the short shares availability, we're seeing here that this company has around 50,000 shares available for short selling at a really high short borrow fee rate, around 74.56. So it's really showing that there is a good amount of short selling activity happening out there. In addition, that the short borrow fee rate has increased nicely, around 50% of yesterday's volume, or around the 18th of October, around almost 100 million shares were gone towards the short side. So that is still quite significant. We've seen this kind of behavior where it happens on and on, where you get to see around almost 100 million shares were being short sold. That was back, for instance, on the 12th of October, and you get to see on the 12th of October it dropped a little the next day and then just really skyrocketed a few days after. So you're able to see that this is kind of a trend, and we're going to discuss that a little bit further in technical analysis. But before moving on forward to discuss other things, if you would like to see more contents like this, make sure to click the subscribe button on the bottom right corner and leave notifications on for this channel. Also, don't forget to drop a like to this video if you actually enjoyed it. Our Discord, totally free, in the description below. Now, in terms of the put/call ratios, what we're seeing here for this company is that the puts are very, very small compared to the calls. A lot of people are bullish about this one. The actual here on the 15th of October, open put interest was around 66,500, and around open call interest was 362,000, almost around there. So that's a massive difference. Definitely looking to see there's a lot more calls than puts, which is a good thing. Now, in terms of the price over sales that we're seeing here, 7.55, it's a pharma company. They burn through a lot of cash, and we understand that. So let's move on a little bit towards the technical analysis and discuss a little bit further on the momentum about this one. From a technical analysis perspective, what we're actually seeing here is that there's a lot of positive things. First off, the moving averages, you got your 10 SMA being above 30 MA, really bullish sign. And you're seeing that the price point is very close to break that 200 SMA line at 331. If we do break it and we stay above, that's a very bullish indicator, almost bullish at every indication on the moving averages. Now, average directional index is currently 3978. It really shows that there's still some leg up for this one. Might actually go on and prolong into a multi-day run for this one. When I say multi-day, I mean like this exact same pattern you're seeing where it does go up a little bit higher and then jumps, almost like an Elliott Lake kind of movement or just ABCD kind of strategies. And when you're looking into this one, another thing is that the willing percent R shows there's a lot more buyers than sellers, and this one is highly overbought, which is very similar to the relative strength index or the RSI. In terms of the MACD and momentum, both show really strong movements. The momentum here is incredibly strong and it can move on for a few days. Now, even if you get a pullback after this one, it still looks promising overall as the trend is still going on all the way back from where it was 86 cents. So it's a really nice movement there. We're going to draw some trend lines and some channels to kind of see where the borders last. Now, stochastic fast and stochastic slow all still have some room to grow up there, suggesting we might get another leg up for this one, and that this is again a pattern rather than a 1 day or a 2 day move. Volumes today or on the 18th, you've seen a massive volume, almost one of the highest it's ever seen, and buying really skyrocketed. Now, this price, you're able to see has pushed the Bollinger Bands and the moving average bands upwards, and it's kind of going almost parabolic on the moving average bands, and that's definitely a good thing. In terms of Fibonacci retracements, we're seeing some supports and resistances that are very interesting to us. The first resistance that should be significant on the Fibonacci retracements is 340, 425, 510, 632, and 786. The support currently is at 235 and 65 cents. The 235 support is very critical because that was a hard resistance to break, and currently the price point is above there. In terms of the price line action, we're able to see a really incredible support that is sitting currently very close to the 288 level. Below there, we're looking down to the 284 and then down to the 262, going downwards to the 238 and then downwards to around 209, 197, around 171, 150, going downwards to 124 and 91 cents. Resistances, we're able to see a few, such as in the 315, 342, going up to 373, 397, and then 465 and around 509. Now, in terms of the trend lines I was talking about, this is really resembling in a channel. So let's take a 1 hour perspective, taking the channel tool, and you're able to see this is almost going up on a channel level. Now, it really broke that channel on the top, and currently we can expect this one to continue trade between the 320 and around the 240. But overall, it does show a lot of promise to continue moving on with this way. Now, it could be said that this is the actual shape of the channel itself and the stock has broken that channel. Either way, it's very bullish because the channel is going upwards in an upward manner or in a positive manner, and the price point is currently above the channel. So the second case scenario would be that it's actually kind of going on almost in a parabolic manner. So that on its own is very bullish. Coming into the question to what we think is going to happen, well, the next day you might anticipate a little bit of pullback. After all, we've seen that happen before, a little bit of a push between buyers and sellers, but then you meet a little bit of accumulation and then it skyrockets. So if that continues on towards the trend, you might continue seeing that all the way until it meeting a harder resistance, probably around the $4. What do you think is going to happen? Make sure you mention this video or share this video to other people you're interested in having them see it. Subscribe and leave notifications on, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you're still here on this video, make sure to drop down below and join our Discord. We have a lot of different things going on, including, for instance, members that gives picks for free. It's not pump and dumps, we just things we think about, swings, etc. We also have really exciting bots. You can actually use those ones. For instance, we're just testing out this bot, for instance, that gives you Fibonacci resistance points, activities, etc. And we have a bunch of free things, totally free. We run on tips here, and you can ask me questions, suggest stocks, etc. It's a really nice community that has been growing up very fast at a very good rate, and it's totally free. If you would like to join that one, feel free to do so in the description below, and have a wonderful day.